So it was my birthday a while ago, and I used to be, when I was a youngish, kind of ambitious kind of type, I used to think, oh, another birthday gone, what have I done with life? What have I achieved in my life? Nothing. I used to think, oh, but by the time I'm my age now, Mozart and Elvis and Jesus are already dead. The first time, anyway, in two of those cases. And I thought, maybe if I'm comparing my achievements to Mozart and Elvis and Jesus, my achievements are going to look a bit meagre, aren't they? So I thought I'm going to compare my achievements with somebody whose achievements are more like achievable. And this is about 30 years ago, and I read a bit then about the actor Buster Merryfield, who used to play Uncle Albert in Holy Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
He was 60 before he left his job in the bank and decided to give acting a go. So I thought I'll compare myself from now on to Buster Merryfield. And then I did nothing for 30 years. And in doing that, I raised Buster Merryfield's level of achievements to the same height of unachievableness as Mozart and Elvis and Jesus. So basically, I'm now just as likely to found a new religion or change the course of popular music as I am to be the branch manager of a local bank and then get cast as a seafaring old codger in a much-loved sitcom. Both those things, none of those things are going to happen now, are they? And but I don't think so. No, I don't think so. So I'm always, at my age, I'm always looking for how can I fill in the last of my time? Well, at best, I'm looking for role models in life, and so I'm often looking at online obituaries. Because that's the way I roll. That's the way And a few years I noticed there was the great old jazz musician, T. Model Ford, not Model T, I've got to say not Model T Ford in my head, T. Model Ford, the great jazz musician, died at the age of 99. And I can't remember what musical instrument he played, but what I do remember is he was 55 before he played a note of music. And the first 55 years of his life, he spent drunk on his porch in Alabama, and then he sobered up, and he picked up whatever musical instrument he was going to play. It could have been a harmonica, could have been the piano. Easier to pick up the harmonica than the piano. You would, well, I don't know. Have you met harmonica? She'll let anybody pick her up. Anyway, so at the age of 55, and from 55 to 99, he produced some of the most difficult and obscure jazz music ever known to be played by man. Or it was either difficult and obscure, or he was still drunk. His hands were still shaking from all the booze. But from, they were all solo albums. Because he apparently was a horrible old bastard. So what I teach, the moral I get from his life is you're never too late to start your life's work. And horrible old bastards die eventually. So you can ask more for that, can you? Thank goodness for that. So that's the end of that bit. I was a bit like that, but when you're dead, your legacy, there's still your legacy isn't nothing more you could do with your legacy, is there? I always think about the 9th century Viking king of Britain, King Canute, and the two things you know about King Canute, well, especially if the old-fashioned spelling. He's the person in history with most to lose by a spelling mistake. Other than that, King Canute is well known for that story. He was apparently a folk story historian of folk story says he was a very stupid man. He was a king when he was a stupid man. He thought he was all powerful, so he had his throne put on the shoreline, and he thought I'm so powerful that I can even turn back the tide. Of course, if he was in Weston-super-Mare, of course, he'd have 8 hours. A long one. You wouldn't know if you were working. You'd give it a long time. And at a certain point, when his Crocs got a bit wet, he'd have to say, pull the throne back a bit. Pull the throne back a bit. So so I don't think he was a stupid man. And then history had rethought, and they think he was a wise man. Because if you're a powerful man, you're surrounded by yes men, or will agree with anything you say. Viking yes men. Yar men! Yar! Viking yes men. he wanted to prove that he wasn't all powerful, so he had his throne put on the thing. And look, I am not I cannot turn back the tide. I am but a normal man. I think this story proves that he was just a man. Yeah, I'll give it a go. Stop! No, that's not going to work. No. And then, oh, come on. And then at a certain point, the tide turns. Aha! So, like a typical man, he could be right about twice a day.